Let's separate the impactful from the insignificant with one simple question. News or noise?
Michael, we started the show commiserating about your NBA team, so now let's do it about my NFL team for a moment. 49ers wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk has taken his contract negotiations to TikTok, telling his former ASU teammate turned quarterback for the Washington Commanders, Jayden Daniels, that the 49ers, quote, don't want me back. Here's the clip.
What? They said they don't want me back. I swear.
So if you couldn't hear it, Aiyuk says they don't want me back. Daniels says that's it. Aiyuk responded, I swear. And then the Daniels yell. At first when I saw this video, Michael, I said, did his girlfriend really post this? No, he posted this himself. And the caption says, I'm laughing, but I'm crying for real. News or noise?
I think it's noise, because if they didn't want him back, I mean, all they'd have to do is they could easily trade him. I think, to me, they want him back. I think the guy that they would try to move would be Debo, because they want an outside receiver. And look, if the contract is too expensive, that could be a kind of a narrative towards wanting to trade him. But I don't get that sense. I get the sense that Debo would be the guy they trade, because they feel like he's not an outside receiver. The Niners need outside receivers. They don't need more inside receivers. And Aiyuk is an outside guy. But look, all this stuff, we've seen it. How often are we going to get fooled in June and July with this? They don't want me back. They don't love me. And then, we sign, and I never want to. I mean, just remember Lamar? They don't love me. I'm never going back there. Come on.
Michael, just like holding out of OTAs or mandatory minicamp has been part of the I want to get paid playbook, so has unfollowing your team on social media or posting your displeasure for perceived leverage. It's just 2024. This is the world that we live in now. Aiyuk entering the final year of his rookie contract, $14.124 million against the cap. The 49ers a plus 600, second shortest shot to win the Super Bowl in 2024-25. Okay, HBO and NFL Films, Michael, have announced Hard Knocks in season will be of not just one team, but the entire AFC North. News or noise?
Oh, I think this is news. This is going to be fascinating to watch, because, we're going to be able to see them compete against one another. We'll go inside of Cincinnati, which will be fun to see, which usually in November they're playing better. There's, what's Baltimore going to look like in November when we get into them? Are they going to be as good as they were last year? Pittsburgh, will it be time for Justin Fields? Will they be pondering? There's so many storylines here, Stormy. So many of them. And then, of course, there's Cleveland. Where are we with Deshaun Watson? I don't know if they could have picked anything better than this. I'm sure Will Hill will have on in the next block was instrumental in making this happen, because this is brilliant. Because each team has so many good storylines to talk about. Even if they win, they have great storylines.
Tons of storylines, intrigue, toughest division in football. I mean, just the quarterbacks alone, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, and Justin Fields. I think it's going to be awesome. In the AFC North, the Ravens are a plus 130 favorite, followed by Cincinnati plus 145. The Browns are 6-1, and the Steelers the longest shot there at plus 850. In college football, Michael, so interesting development over the last couple months. Snoop Dogg, who will sponsor this year's Arizona Bowl, recently announced the game will be the first to provide NIL deals for competing players, a model that some believe could become a new norm for bowl games to incentivize stars to play. For the last decade, the number of players opting out of bowl games has steadily increased, with players preferring to prepare for the NFL draft or hit the transfer portal early. Could this be a reality in the near future, and would it work? News or noise?
I think this is news, and I think it could work. I mean, he's taken over the Barstool game, which drew nobody there. I mean, remember the game in Tucson? I mean, there were so many empty seats. So hopefully we'll get people to go to this game, and they'll get a good game. But I think Snoop Dogg's right. I mean, if you want the guys to show up, pay them in the game. And I think NIL money will help. But look, this NIL thing is going to have to get corrected. The players deserve to get paid. No one's arguing that. However, that being said, there's got to be some way to balance this up a little bit to where there is level competition, because right now the teams with the money are the ones that are going to get all the players.
Yesterday, we reacted a lot to the U.S. Open, and Rory McIlroy posted a lengthy statement about the experience and ultimately closing with, he'll be withdrawing from the Travelers coming up this week. Quote, I'm going to take a few weeks away from the game to process everything and build myself back up. He mentioned a couple things he will, quote, rue over the course of the tournament, mostly, of course, those two missed putts on 16 and 18 the final day. But he says he'll try to look at the positives of the week that far outweigh the negatives, trying to get back to himself, Michael. News or noise, Rory McIlroy taken off this week and trying to get back to defend the Genesis Scottish Open and the British Open.
Well, I think it's definitely news because, who would expect him to go and play again? I think he should go play again. I think he needs to get out there and just kind of settle himself down and get back on the horse. I don't think it does, again, run to the roar. I don't think running away from this is going to help you. I think you got to face your reality. And I'm sure he's going to spend some time trying to analyze what he needs to do. But for me, I think you stay in your routine. Look, if you played that well and you are playing well, you got to fight the demons. Nothing's going to happen at home that's going to help you. You're just going to get the yips, and that's what you're scared of. And you got to go out there and do it. It's like a writer who doesn't want to write every day. You're not going to be able to create anything. I think, to me, I know it's hard to get out there and you have to answer the questions, but that's part of being a professional. Professionals go on, and we move on, and we do it. I think, to me, if I were advising Rory, I'd say, Rory, get your butt up there and play. Let's go. If you committed to play, if you say you're going to be somewhere, be somewhere.
He also said in the statement, as I said at the start of the tournament, I feel closer to winning my next major championship than I ever have. The one word I would use to describe my career is resilient. I've shown my resilience over and over again the last 17 years, and I will again. As far as the British Open,
he needs to stop talking about winning championships. That's his biggest problem. Is why is he talking about it? He is basically letting the media get inside his head. Like, look, we all know you want to win championships. Don't talk about it. Look, it's about playing well. If I play well, I'm going to win. But now you're putting yourself into the future. You put yourself in the present. Look, I just got to play really well tomorrow. That's it. Any champion, that's how they think. Professionals think in the moment. Amateurs think about titles. And I think that's why he's not getting the right advice.
I think, too, like when you're being asked about it incessantly, when you are on social media and you're seeing the comments that you see, it's so easy to say, oh, don't read anything. But how easy is that to actually do? Rory McIlroy, though, second shortest shot to win the British Open behind only Scottie Scheffler. His odds there 7-1. Okay, we talked about your boy in segment one. We're going to show the clip here because last Friday during Game 4 of the finals, Joel Embiid was on the NBA countdown desk, as was Paul George, where Embiid made the comment and a facial gesture heard around the world. Let's show our audience here.
As we see the Boston Celtics getting ready to close the deal and win a championship, what does that have you thinking about as a member of the Philadelphia 76ers?
I can't stand them. Hopefully, this offseason we find a way to get better and, add some pieces.
In the replay of the cartoon-style eyes. Okay, so obviously this set the internet on fire for our radio and podcast audience. He's looking directly with wide eyes at Paul George talking about adding pieces. Michael, it's very fun for us to consume this type of content, but in your opinion, is this news or is it noise?
Well, it is news. But the fact is we need more players. Look, you need to get in shape. You're never healthy to play against Boston. So what good is it? What good are having the players if you're not healthy? See, this is where everybody's eye leaves the target. Rory, I'm going to compete for majors. No, you compete to play good. Joel, you should be good enough that if you're healthy and in great shape, you can go out there and play Boston and anybody. But Boston knows those two things are never going to happen, you being in great shape and healthy. So they're never really even worried about you. They respect you, but they're not worried about you.
I just love that it always comes back to just work out, Joel Embiid. Just get in shape. My goodness.
Just go get in shape. You wonder why he's hurt all the time. Seriously, why am I the only one who says it? Everybody in the NBA says it too, but nobody's scared to say it. Get in shape. Get in shape. The reason you're hurt all the time is you're not in shape.
Paul George, minus 215 to stay with the Clippers. But those 76ers
that's not gonna
are
move
the
the needles.
second shortest shot at plus 280 to land PG in free agency. You got to throw it out there.
Elliot just knows how to he knows how to irritate the hell out of me.
Elliot knows
really
how to
does.
make good content. That's what it is, Michael. We are here for the people.